ReefBum is sponsored by Bulk Reef Supply and Ecotech Marine.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. So I am heading out on vacation for a week very soon, and I thought it would be a great time to pass along some tips on how to prep a reef tank before leaving on vacation. So here we go. Number 1, don't make any major changes to your tank. You have a new skimmer that needs to be installed, or you want to add a second return pump to your sump. Don't do it. Chances are a new piece of equipment needs to be tweaked after it's installed to make sure it's running at an optimal level. It can even malfunction if not installed properly. You should be around a while to babysit any new install. Number 2, top off your RODI water reservoir and other additives. Make sure you have enough RODI water to last the entire vacation plus another week. There should also be an ample supply of other liquid additives such as trace elements or 2-part calcium and alkalinity. A tank with a heavy demand for calcium and alkalinity can crash if dosing stops for a few days. If you use a calcium reactor, check to make sure your CO2 is not running low. Number 3, stay on top of maintenance. Equipment will eventually fail if it's not maintained on a regular basis. For example, I perform maintenance on my peristaltic dosing pumps every 3 months to make sure they run as smooth as possible. As noted in point number 2, you don't want the 2-part dosing to stop while you're gone. Number 4, invest in a controller. An aquarium controller is a great tool to have while on vacation. Just make sure you don't set one up right before you go on vacation. Remember tip number 1? I actually use a controller as a monitor, so I use the data myself to take action. For instance, if my alkalinity is dropping while I'm away, I lower the pH set point in my calcium reactor. This increases the alkalinity since more CO2 will be injected with a lower set point. A controller can also alert you if certain parameters such as temperature, conductivity, or alkalinity are out of whack. I have email and text alerts set up for this purpose. Number 5, utilize webcams. I have 2 webcams trained in my 187-gallon system. One, an IP network camera, generates a 24/7 live stream on YouTube, while the other is a Nest Cam pointed right at my sump. The Nest Cam has infrared, allowing the video to be viewable in a dark room. Live streaming to a webcam to YouTube is a bit more complicated to set up, but it is a breeze to set up a Nest Cam. While on vacation, I like to look at the webcams on a daily basis since they can identify a problem before it's detected by a controller. As an example, lower than normal water in the sump could indicate a problem with my auto top-off device. Number 6, use a reliable tank sitter. Yes, you want a person you can count on to not only feed your fish, but to also help with any basic maintenance required during the vacation. They should also be handy in case something goes wrong with the tank. Someone with reef keeping experience is ideal, but no matter who it is, it's best to give the tank sitter an in-person briefing about the tank and the responsibilities. I also leave detailed notes with my contact info in case they have any questions or need to get in touch about an issue while I'm away. Number 7, resist adding new corals and fish. Any new additions should be avoided right before you go away. A new fish is under considerable stress when added to a new tank. Other fish may be picking on it, or it could have a disease. A dead fish left inside a tank can be problematic on a number of fronts. As for corals, I don't add any frags within 2 weeks of a vacation. My biggest concern is not being around to re-glue a frag that has been knocked off its perch. If the glue or putty holds for a couple of weeks, then chances are there is a solid bond. But you never know when you have turbo snails. Those brutes can bowl anything over. Number 8, add an auto fish feeder. I usually feed my fish 4 to 5 times a day, but when I use a tank sitter, that person is only coming over to feed the fish 2 times. I like to use an auto fish feeder to dispense pellets to supplement those feedings. Number 9, replace filter socks. Swap out filter socks with new ones right before you leave. You may even want to consider removing filter socks for a trip over a week if they clog every 3 to 4 days. If you use filter rolls, then make sure you have a sufficient supply. And finally, number 10, prepare for a power outage. If you have a portable generator around, make sure you give your tank sitter a tutorial on how to use it in case there is an extended outage. At the very least, you will want to have a battery backup to keep flow going and water oxygenated while the power is out. It can also be helpful to simulate an outage while you're at home. Some equipment can trip a GFCI when power is restored all at once after a blackout. This will allow you to troubleshoot and fix the issue so it doesn't happen while you are gone. Well, that will do it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And feel free to chime in with any comments below. I also want to remind you about my premium SPS Frag store on ReefBum.com. I will leave a link in the video description below. I'll also leave links for my equipment store. I do sell GHL, Royal Exclusiv, Pax Bellum, and Reef Brite equipment, plus IceCap and Maxspect gyres, as well as Reef Octopus calcium and Kalk reactors. Many of these products I do use personally on my tanks. Until next time, be safe and be well. Later.